So I'm Alicia, and I'm going to be talking about thermodynamics. The warmer an object is, the faster the molecules inside of it are moving. So, in essence, thermal energy is the same as molecular kinetic energy. Contrary to popular belief, heat is not how hot or cold something is. Heat is the measure of how much thermal energy is transferred from one object to another. Temperature is the measurement of how much thermal energy is in the object, how fast the molecules are moving around. The temperature of an object varies based off of the amount of heat transferred to the object as well as the properties of the object itself. Some objects require more heat to change temperature, while others require very little. Just because an object cools down, that does not mean that the thermal energy is gone. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transferred or converted into different types, as stated by the first law. The second law adds to the first by saying, whenever heat is transferred, a portion of that energy is lost and becomes unusable, but it remains in the system. Zeroth law states that when two objects are in contact with one another, heat is transferred from the object with a higher temperature to the cooler object. The heat transfer will continue until the objects reach thermal equilibrium, where they have the same constant temperature. Just because the bodies have the same temperature, the objects may not have the same amount of thermal energy, because some objects require the molecules to move around faster, while others require the molecules to move around at the same speed to get that temperature. And some objects have higher densities and more molecules in them, so it varies object to object. For example, say you have a hot cup of tea, and when you hold that cup, some of the thermal energy is transferred to you, so you feel the heat in your hand. Absolute zero is considered 0 degrees Kelvin, which has been calculated as the lowest temperature possible in the universe. Scientists haven't been able to reach absolute zero due to the fact that at that temperature everything would stop moving and no heat transfer would occur. The second law of thermodynamics explains why scientists haven't been able to achieve that. Heat transfer can never occur from a cooler object to a warmer object. So, when temperatures get near 0 degrees Kelvin, the objects begin to draw energy from the surrounding systems, because they can't really lose anymore, because there's no way that the cooler object can give off to the warmer objects. That energy is then transformed into molecular kinetic energy, or thermal energy, which prevents the lowering of the temperature any further. So 0 degrees Kelvin at this point has never been able to be reached.